Texas A&M 92, Georgia 77. That's right. The Aggies pull it out once again. The Aggies keep it rolling. Can they be stopped? They're 7-1 in conference play. They're number 1 in the SEC. It's not just a good story now, folks. It's a legit team. And how good is Texas A&M really? Because I think they're pretty good. They have 10 guys. 15 guys, I don't know what it is, but they have guys that can come in fresh off the bench and just be quite as good as the rest of their players. Everyone's refreshed, everyone's playing well, and it took him to the finish line today against the Georgia Bulldogs, 92-77 Texas A&M. Why aren't they ranked? Seriously, why aren't they ranked? They're 7-1 in the SEC. There's 3 or 4 other teams in the SEC that are below them and are ranked. Florida, Arkansas, what have you. Georgia was just ranked before, and they were not nearly as impressive as Texas A&M is right now. Why aren't they ranked? They got to be after this weekend, right? And no matter what happens this weekend, Texas A&M will hold the outright position of first in the SEC because Arkansas and Florida are the only teams that could surpass them. Both have 2 losses. Texas A&M, like, when are we just going to stop and say it's not just a good story anymore? It's not just buckyball and this A&M team. It's pretty fun to watch them. No, they're a legit program. They're a legit team right now. Rashawn 18 points. Hill, 15 points. Deba, 15 points. Dominguez, 13 points. Pop Isaacs, 11 points. Lane, 9 points. Griffin, 5 points. Like, they spread it out so much. Everybody gets a piece of the pie, and I think they've showed the stat during the game. They have to be the team with the most bench points. They average, I think, like 5 or 6 or 7 guys who have 10 plus points per game. That's insane. And not only that, I think they have like 15 guys, maybe 10 or something guys that play 20 plus minutes per game. So this is a A&M team that they have guys all across the board that are absolute ballers, and ain't nobody gonna stop them. Right now, Texas A&M is the best team in the SEC. I don't care about your power rankings. Right now, like, their only loss was to Tennessee, and even that game, controversial calls. But this game, Georgia at home, and I said, or I at least thought, the Aggies got to cool down a little bit, right? They got to get back to earth a little bit. It's at Georgia. Georgia on a 2-game skid. They need this win to get back. And then right out the gates, A&M starts off so hot, 24-20 or 2, I think it was. Like, that's just the type of team they are. They play basketball fast, and they don't wait. They get out there and they're just through, like, out the gates, going as fast as they can, and they're going to score. They're going to play defense. And if you're not ready for it, you're going to find yourself behind. That's what happened to Georgia today. Georgia just found themselves behind early, and A&M really never looked back. I mean, Georgia made their pushes at the end of the first half and then towards the middle of the second half, and then A&M every time would respond. And I think a big part of that is that A&M has so many guys that they can lean on, that guys they can bring in off the bench that are just fresher than what Georgia has, that what any team really has, because who has 10 to 12 guys that can play valuable minutes for a team? That's not very common in college basketball. But Bucky McMillan does it, and he has guys. This A&M team, like, let's face it, they're not very big, but they spread the floor out and they run just a clean, ethical offense that gets them open shots, gets them open. But even if they don't, they have open layups. Like, they are is just lethal. Guys for Jeremiah Wilkinson, Dylan James had a great game. He was kind of the guy who kind of, I feel like, got Georgia back into the game. Blue Kane played all right. Millender played all right. Kanan Catchings is starting to find himself. For Georgia, this is your 3rd straight loss. You are 4-5 in conference play. Where do you go? You are officially backs against the wall. And when a couple weeks ago, it felt like your tournament position was completely secured, and now you're worrying, and you are certainly on the bubble. I would still say you're on the right side of the bubble, but you're on the bubble, and you need to pick up some quality wins here. A&M, the story is on A&M, as it kind of has been all SEC season. They didn't have a game this week, and it felt like the radar for the SEC was just kind of, or the spotlight for the SEC was just kind of shined off of them for a little bit. But here they come back and a week off, and they look better than ever. Like, when is it gonna be enough for you to just say, and for me to just say, "This A&M team is legit, credit to them, and they are looking like a tournament team, and they're looking like a team that could do some damage in the tournament." And I just find it so great and so interesting that, like, guys like, Robert Dominguez, he didn't play a lot, in the first half of the season, and he's now coming off the bench, and he's playing a lot, and he's getting valuable minutes, and he's making his, statement with those minutes. And another interesting stat, basically everybody in A&M is in the plus for the plus minus, which is a very valuable statistic. And it's like that every game. They just play a brand of basketball, and it feels like the book's been out on them, but still no one can beat them. That's usually what happens, right? When you have this team that's kinda underdog and they start going, and you think someone gets the book out on them, and, they'll start to decline. That hasn't happened with A&M, and I don't think it will. I don't think they're gonna go undefeated from here on out in the SEC, but I just think that they're a legit team. It's hard to argue that. 92-77 is the final score. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic win for Bucky McMillan. But the trials and games and the battles, they don't stop here. You have Florida coming up next, and I believe you have Alabama as well. And I know you have Arkansas coming up. So there's no easy gauntlet in the SEC, but you certainly have a harder gauntlet coming up if you're Texas A&M, but nothing to take away from just a fantastic win. You are once again atop the SEC 7-1. Who saw this coming? Absolutely nobody. They said it in the broadcast. Like, absolutely no one was picking this A&M team to even make the tournament, and now look at them. Well, so I looked it up, and now you have Alabama next, and I believe it's at home, and then you play Florida, on Saturday, and then, yeah, you have Vanderbilt coming up next. You have Arkansas towards the latter half, and, it's always gonna be hard in the SEC, but I don't think that really phases Texas A&M and Bucky McMillan. The one thing I have to say is rank them. Why aren't they ranked? I don't know. I surely it happens after this week, but this Texas A&M team is legit, just now, getting on board. Buckyball is open. Buckyball is rolling, and Texas A&M gets their 7th conference win in 8 games. What an insane story. What an insane team. Texas A&M 92, Georgia 77. That is my reaction to this fantastic game. Please make sure you subscribe, check all socials, follow them. We're doing great on all those, but we're still trying to grow this YouTube thing, so a subscribe would really help, and comment and like as well.